Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be showing you around this project we've called Tide House. It's on the water and we were engaged by the clients to give them a holiday home that they would really enjoy bringing their family and extended family to hang out and spend some time together. So I can't wait to bring you around and show you some of the special design details that we've added to this project. For me and for my team also, we like to add an extra layer of personality when we're doing projects, just so that they don't feel like a real new build that was designed and they have a little bit of soul. So one of the great ways to do that for me is adding original art. So this is quite a special piece. Not only does it bring a lovely lift of bold colour to an otherwise plain wall, but it's by a contemporary artist who specialized in tapestries. So his name is Lurcat. You can see his name down here. And he was French and did the most amazing tapestries. So I love this piece. I picked it up in a gallery and I thought it was perfect for this space. So we've just created a little vignette here with the bench underneath. And then on this wall, this is another Irish artist that actually went to Limerick College of Art and Design many years ago. I'm living in Limerick long term, so I like that little link. And this is one of his screen prints. I love it because it's quite geometric looking and abstract, and there is a little depth of colour you mightn't pick up on the camera, but there is like an aubergine colour coming through. So I love those original pieces. I just think they can make a space so interesting. And then here we did the brass crittle doors. So a lovely link to the old part, or I shouldn't say old part, it's actually the new part of the building. It's like an annex where they have 2 bedrooms for more to sleep. So we did the crittle here, and also we've linked the crittle over here. So when I actually came to this house, the way it was designed was this opening was much smaller, but what I found was the hallway is actually really beautiful, and I wanted it to feel connected to the hallway space because there's a beautiful roof light in there and a lovely piece of glass that's linked in so well with the outdoors, which has lovely greenery. So I decided to open up the opening as wide as I could and add the brass crittle here as well. And just for a little bit of detail, we added an arch in the center of the door, which I think is nice. So there's a nice link between the 2 spaces, but also it contrasts to the walls, which I like as well.
There were a couple of challenges in this space. We were slightly limited in how much depth we had to work with, especially to fit the size of TV the client wanted, and to still make the room feel cozy since it's quite a large space. So what we did first was add a stepped ceiling detail along with a contemporary style coving. We uplit that to bring in some warmth, and it works really well at night. The walls are finished in a lime wash paint, which gives a slightly aged texture. It softens the space straight away compared to a bright white paint. On the floor, you'll notice we added a plank border around the room just to frame it nicely. It's a small touch, but it really helps define the space. And in the window reveals, we added small brass uplighters, which give a lovely glow in the evening. Lighting is always hard to capture on camera, but it really adds to the coziness here. We've also added 2 spotlights in the ceiling that are intentionally placed to light the coffee table. That table is one I designed and had made specially for the space. I couldn't find the right piece, so we created this one. It has a reeded detail that picks up nicely on the textures everywhere in the house, and it's practical too, with storage inside for games and things for the family. The sofa was custom made for the client as well. It's feather filled and really deep, so it's relaxed, comfortable, but still luxurious. We added natural fabrics and added a set of bespoke cushions that tie into the colour palette. I love this fabric, though Loretta on our design team doesn't love the scraggly texture on it, but I do. It's all down to personal taste. We've styled the coffee table simply with a few books and a sculptural piece, and some wildflowers to bring in a bit of light and life to the space. Now for the TV, which as all designers know we never love, but everyone wants one. So here we tucked it into a slim custom unit. We echoed the detailing from the kitchen cabinetry and added soft backlighting. We also kept it shallow since we couldn't come too far into the room, and finished it in the paint Juniper Ash by Little Green. It's one of my favourite blues, just enough colour, and it gives a nice coastal feel. You can also see the flooring border again here, which helps visually link the whole space.
Here's another little moment we created. I love to use plinths to otherwise, decorate an uninteresting space. So we use this textured plinth. We put a nice vase on it and some beautiful acer to bring some colour. And this is a contemporary piece of art by Wendy Dyson. I saw it and I just loved the colour. Love the colour palette. I feel like it brings in some nice interest to the room, and you can see the acer picks up nicely on the colour in the art as well. In this room as well, and it's something I get asked about a lot, is the window dressing. So obviously this is a lovely open plan space. It has big bright windows, but for us to ground the space and make it feel a little bit cozier, we love to add window dressing. So they won't be pulled in the daytime, they'll be pulled really at night time if the clients want to. But we did a recessed channel into the ceiling so that we could hide a lot of the heading of the curtains, and we used a lovely natural voile material that's quite textured and has a little bit of warmth in it, so it really grounds the space as well. Let's discuss the kitchen. So in the kitchen space, we wanted to have a nice feature island. So I picked out a beautiful stone called Apollo quartzite, and it's a natural stone. And what I love about it is the bluey vein coming through it. It reminds me of waves and the sea, so very apt for where we are. There's also the subtlest little bit of pinky veining coming through, which I think looks so special. We waterfall detailed the island, so this side and the other side. So it looks beautiful from each end. And underneath the island, we needed to maximize seating. So we did some under counter lighting hidden in there. We did the same color as the main kitchen, and we did a lovely shark nose detail returning down on the island itself, which is beautiful. Over in the kitchen space, we wanted wall-to-wall cabinetry here so that there was, the maximum storage for the client. We did a downdraft hob on the island, so it feels like a nice connection to the rest of the space. If they're entertaining or have family around, they're able to cook and still be connected to whoever's in the dining or living space. We have the hot water cooker tap. We did a brass sink. And then over here we have ovens, fridge freezer, larder. Fridge freezer and larder are all integrated. And we did this kind of step detail. So a double step detail, which is quite fun. And then the beautiful Armac Martin antique brass handles. And then over here we have a pocket door kind of coffee station. So in here, the client has their coffee station. We just backlit it We added the quartzite in here as well. And we added an antique kind of mirror that has a little bit of like a blue tone coming through, which obviously works really well with the kitchen color, which is also the juniper ash I was talking about earlier. So yeah, a very functional space. One detail I wanted to show you with the dining table is the legs. I think they're really cool. So if you look down here, we did the lovely brass leg. And I just love that detail. It feels nice and light in the space. And we have a lot of other brass elements in here, so I think it works really well. Now we are into the hall space. It's quite a dynamic and interesting space. I love this lamp, by the way. We did this sculptural cool lamp and an original piece of artwork that I sourced for the client. The console table is quite interesting. It has this bobbin detail and this lovely kind of textured dark wood, and it's accented with the brass. On the console table itself, we have a mix of old and new, which I love. The vase and some of the decorative pieces are all new. And then I have a couple of antiques down here. So this is kind of a sailing kind of scene, and I bought those in a pair. I love them on a little stand because, you know, they just fill a space, so you don't always have to tack them onto walls. I just get these little stands and they're great for standing a piece of art. And then this is a beautiful piece. It's a terracotta sculpture. Her name is Tanith and she is a goddess. So yeah, quite a cool piece, and it's on like a perspex plinth. And again, love the depth that those antique pieces create. So in this space also, you can see we did the lime wash in here. We have a roof light here that brings in all the natural light, but we've done a subtle little uplight, so that's beautiful at night. You can't really see it now. We also got these light fittings, which feels like bubbles and water to me. So they're quite apt for the space. And they're by a lovely brand called Vaughan Lighting. In the hall, we did the border again on the lovely wooden floor. We did the herringbone pattern. And then on the stairs, it's quite nice and contemporary, which I really like as well. And again, mixing in a hall chair that is a beautiful Victorian piece. And I don't know why, but I am obsessed with hall chairs like that. I just think they're so interesting. They're a great space filler, and I've just stacked some books on there. Over here is a triptych of art by a great Irish artist I've used many times called Cora Murphy. And she is based in Cork, and she does commissions, originals and prints. And she did this triptych for us, which is quite abstract. I love the color it brings to this large space. And then we had installed the picture lights to just highlight the nice artwork on the way down this hallway. So that is the hall space. Next, I'm going to bring you to the utility, one of the primary bedrooms and en-suites. So come along with me. This is the primary bedroom downstairs. We made 2 primary bedrooms for the clients because they weren't sure whether they wanted to be downstairs or upstairs, but whichever one they don't use, they'll use as a nice guest bedroom anyway. So in this space, you will notice that we Bespoke made the extra tall doors, which I love. Because we have a generous ceiling height here, I think it's nice to give that element of luxury to the space by doing a higher internal door, so I love that detail. You'll also notice we did the coffered ceiling with the lighting in here as well. And I love this light fitting. I think it's really fun in the space. So yeah, one of my favorite things to order for projects is lighting. I'm obsessed with lighting. So in here, we wanted it to feel luxurious. So we paneled out the space, but also we did some built-in joinery. So we did the split doors and wardrobes wall to wall here with the nice Armac Martin handles. We bespoke made this lovely curved sofa, which is actually quite comfy. We love a curved sofa. That is for the clients to be able to sit down, look out at the view, but also they do have a TV in here, so it's perfect to sit with a coffee and watch some TV. And we've the TV hidden in here, so I'll show you that in a moment. We did quite textured, geometric curtains. So they have the subtlest little bit of gold coming through. They're a lovely weight. For me, I love to lean into more luxurious, higher quality fabrics because again, I feel like they bring such an element of grounding to the space. And we hid the heading of the curtain in our channel in the ceiling and did the coving here as well. So it's a nice kind of seamless finish, if you like. Over here, I am obsessed with these bedside tables. They're so contemporary looking, so clean. And one thing I know I get asked quite a bit about online is how to mix wooden finishes and should it all match. You can see these are quite light oak and we've the darker oak on the floor, and they really work so beautifully together because the undertones are quite good together. Then they have the lovely little kind of clean bar handle that just sits with this, and I just love them. They're generous in size, which I feel like is quite luxurious, especially in a primary bedroom space. So love those. Then I have this beautiful stone flower pot. It is a ton weight because I had to lift it down from my car in the rain down a hill to get it into the house. And I'm glad I've been doing some weightlifting because that helps when you have these interior design moments. So we have the sculptural lamps, which are also very grounding in the space. On the headboard itself, we did a bespoke headboard. I mixed two materials. So we have the lovely velvet, which is a nice contrast to the walls, and then a more textured woven fabric in the center, which I think frames out the bed nicely because otherwise it's a lot of light just on a light wall. So I love playing with contrast. These are beautiful cushions by a brand I love because they really lean into quality fabrics and natural materials. So they're by Della Cunha, beautiful brand of cushions and throws. And then this is a fabric I'm also obsessed with, and the colors are just amazing in it. So we did that as a throw on the bed. It has all the greens coming through, feels very earthy in the space. And then an original piece of art, which is like a sculpture of the moon, which is quite cool, I think, and just fills the space nicely. And it's almost like a reflection of water, feels quite calming in the space. So over to this side of the room, we've a wall of cabinetry again. So what we've done is these really nice recessed flush handles, which I think are quite cool. And what we did over here is we've hidden the TV in here. So the client can open this up and pull out the TV and sit and watch something if they like, but it's nice and hidden when it's not in use, which we love. And then through here is the master, or I should say primary ensuite, which I love because there's so many details in here. So come on in and take a look with me. This is the primary ensuite. So you'll have seen in the primary bedroom, we've hidden it behind a cabinet door. I personally love this primary ensuite because I love all of the materials and finishes. I just find it very calming and very zen-like. So let me talk you through some of the details. So we did a bespoke vanity. It's extra long, so plenty of storage underneath. We've used Calacatta gold marble, and you can see how we did interesting edges on the top and almost like an upstand and another interesting edge at the bottom. The mirror itself, I did the mirror from the top of the upstand right to the ceiling, because behind me there's all of this lovely greenery and sea. So I wanted the clients to feel the connection to the outside even when they're facing the vanity. So that works quite well in the space. And then we did a couple of tile elements. So on the floor we did like a tumbled limestone floor in different sizes. But what we did to tie it in with the vanity nicely is a beautiful Calacatta gold marble border that runs right the way through the room. And also we have the marble running around the shower nook as well. And we also bespoke made a white crittle door to frame out the shower space, close it in so they have a contained wet area. And then we did a fun checkerboard tile in the shower itself. And you can come in here and see the niche detail we did in the shower wall. So it's a great place to hide all the shampoo bottles, and they're not always on display, so it keeps it nice and clean. In this room, we also have the very tall openings for the doors that I spoke about earlier. And what we did to frame that out and finish the wall really nicely with the tile is we did a stepped marble architrave detail, which I feel like it just frames out the doors so nicely. And I think all of those details really make it feel like a luxury space. So they're harder to install and they take a lot more time, but I think the result is always worth it. We're now in the laundry room. So we have the washers here, a shelf for loading the washer and dryer, plenty of storage, and surprise, surprise, a natural stone again. I love this one because it's quite earthy, but it also has this deep vein running through it. So what we did, just to give the utility its own moment, was use the natural stone, pick up on the dark handles with the dark vein in the stone. We did the marble shelf as well, the brackets. You'll notice some contemporary original art that I sourced and some antique art that I sourced. Love these tiles, they kind of have an aged feel, so they worked really well with this stone, but they also worked really well with the color we painted in here. So it's quite a naturally kind of dark space in here. So we wanted it to feel warm, and we used Farron balls, I think it's smoked trout. I'll have to double check that later and we'll put it in the show notes. So we just color drenched it in here, painted it all the one color, and I feel like it made it really nice and warm. And it's a nice functional space. Over in the other tall units, they have storage for, you know, a Dyson Hoover, ironing board, iron, all of those things, so that they're neat and out of the way.